Hello, welcome to the stream, everyone. I had some cards out, so putting them away. I should also send a notification out that I am streaming. Hello, Lorcana. Hand your moment. Okay. We shall have the kitchen hen. She was standing up in the kitchen. The queue should be open for anyone who would like to queue. And you can queue by using the join command up here, the ! join. I did in fact before the stream add a rules command, which was attempted last time, but I didn't have one. So I've added one in. Oh, there's a Prophet Kitty mention, or appearance, sorry. Daniel. Oh, you're gonna sit? Okay, I guess she's just gonna sit there. Oh. You know what she did? She knocked over a deck. Naughty. Yeah, she really does love showing her butt. Like, what is there even to see behind? All the action's going on up here. She always gets like this when I'm streaming. Because it's not all the time. It seems like no one wants to go first. I don't know if that was you attempting to go first, Steph, but... yeah. Welcome in, heroes and controllers. If you're interested in getting a reading, we do have a queue system which you can use the ! join command for. Technically, I'm first. So if you did a queue command, it'll be me first. Oh, Neppy's awake but trapped in ads. I got the Queen of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and also the Hanged Man, which does seem very relevant to stuff that I've been pondering today around this idea of doing a lot of stuff and letting myself like recover or rest, or not just be carrying a bunch of wands all the time, as you know, the 10 of Wands indicates you don't really want to get to that point if you're busy here. That was like an acknowledgement of what I've been reflecting on and working on. But we'll get into the actual readings for the stream, starting with Daphne. Well, not starting with, because we started with me. Following with Daphne. Hello, Ivana Not White. Welcome into the stream. And it's good to see Nappy here. Out of the ads. Well, I do it sometimes if it's taking a while for anyone to queue. I'm like, well, it probably means someone's waiting for someone else, so I'm going to queue first. All right. Would you like this deck, or this one? Okay. We can do a poll. You should be able to run a poll, right? Because like you're a moderator. Do you want to run your own poll? Oh. Yes, I knew. Because we have the Egyptian Gods Oracle cards, the Egyptian Tarot, and the Egyptian Star Oracle. Hello, welcome into the stream. I am doing well. Just getting started with these readings for today. But hopefully they will be very good. Is it because you want to go out? Okay, I'm going to let the cat out. Ah yes, what deck Daff use? Cast your votes. Yes, you started the poll. Very good. I should do that from now on. Get my mods to do polls rather than switching tabs and doing polls. Oh, it's a tie right now between the Egyptian Gods Oracle and the Egyptian Star Oracle. Oh yeah, I've never been a mod on. Well, I don't think I have been a mod on Twitch, so I don't know what the mod view is actually, but now you have it. Oh, annoying. Okay, so it's not good. You won't get banned unless you do something that gets you banned. Alright, kind of looks like this one's out the running, so it'll be between these two. The ban apocalypse. These are not that big actually. It's just a big box. The cards are this. Okay, it's both. The box is just really big and really cool. It's very eye-catching. But no, these cards are not huge. The cards are this size. And this thing, the plastic held this Eye of Horus charm, which went here. I think if the intention of the box size was to make it so it's like people are enticed by it, by its size and shape, then it does very well at that. But yeah, these are basically the same size. This one's slightly bigger, I think. Yeah, only by a tiny bit. Alright, reading from Thoth. We'll do one card from the Egyptian Star Oracle and two... Or actually, we'll do whichever one comes out. So we'll do 2 from one and 1 from one. But we'll see, because cards, sometimes they have a life of their own. They decide to overwrite my decision on how many cards should come out. Oh, it's not very difficult. So if you want to learn how to shuffle like this, you get 2 halves and... you just hold it like this. So this finger is free, but I hold it with my thumb on the side. And then the intention is that you just drop the cards using your thumb. So you let go of the cards and they just pile on top of each other. And then you keep them in your hand and you put them together. So it's kind of like if you were to shuffle this way, like long ways, which a lot of people do with playing cards. But at least for this, it's actually easier to do it short ways and faster and very stylish. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to the stream. Alright, Daph. So to start off your reading with Thoth, we have the card Construction and Building. You are cool, Neppy. Don't say that. You don't have to be cool like me, but you can be cool like you. Yeah, Construction and Building. Let's see what comes up from this one. Construction and building sounds about right if you're working on, building up an understanding of something or even an understanding of him, the wonderful ibis-headed god. And if you're sort of coming to understand where he lies in things. So I'm seeing that it's feeling like it's not just about him and his place, but also the wider picture of like your practice and what deities you worship or work with or interact with, and what pantheons there may be, and where you place your focuses. Because there are many people who are omnists, such as myself, who do have a belief that like all pantheons and religions exist. And so for me, it's pretty normal if someone talks about multiple gods from different pantheons at the same time. But at least when it comes to my focuses, I am a Greco-Kemetic polytheist. So I have focuses there. And so that was just me. I was kind of explaining that because it feels like this card represents this idea of constructing and building where your focuses and beliefs lie. And that can also manifest in a resonance you have with Thoth's domains and what he represents. Both of his names tend to be difficult to pronounce. Thoth is his Greek name and Djihudi is his Egyptian name. And they both have letters that can be difficult for some people to pronounce smoothly. Okay, another card doesn't want to come out this one, so I'm going to get another card from the other deck. But your second card for this reading is Anubis, Transformation. This is a scene of Anubis or Anpu using the scale, which represents his duty of judgment of the heart and truth. So weighing of the heart or weighing of the soul. Connected to the word transformation. So I feel like it ties into what I was speaking about in terms of how this sort of forming of a practice, this construction or building of a practice and inclusion of deities and sort of seeing where things lie in terms of your values, who you, what divinities you have around you and who may come forward. It's like, where do you measure your heart in this? And how does that lead your transformation of your ideologies and faith and belief? Cool. Card number 1, New Beginnings and Jubilation. Well, that aligns nicely as well. Bringing together all of those ideas about refreshing and how transformation, which can involve release or death or leaving things behind, often does lead to new beginnings and jubilation. So jubilation is the feeling, like this feeling of joy and happiness and wish fulfilled, like wishes being fulfilled. If you are curious about why he's around, because we don't have entire context, but if you're curious about why he's around, he does represent a very significant concept of wisdom. He's not just like a god of writing or scribing or like, words, but wisdom is very much in his domain. Thank you, heroes and controllers, for the follow as well. But yeah, he has a very significant part when it comes to figuring things out about ourselves, about the world around us, and making sense of things and putting meaning to things. Does all of that make sense? I'm sure there's enough of him to go around. Yes, great. Very good. He is a very well-loved deity. I'm sure he'll hear it if he desires to hear it. Oh, cool. At the bottom, Shishat, wisdom. Shishat is another deity of writing. So she's a goddess of writing and also connected to wisdom. So that's a nice sort of synchronicity or affirmation there. All right, let's see what Luca is after today for their reading. And thank you for requesting that reading and once again for resubbing. pulling the old general reading from whoever pops up. Must be that insert astrological event here. Alright, today your reading is going to be with Hecate. I'm going to give you this chance because we did do the deity wheel for you. Do you have a question for her, or do you still want it to be general? Alright, what does Hecate want Luca to work on? Also, Daph, if you want, you can re-queue if you'd like, since you technically did a paid thingy. A form of a thing. Donation-ish? I knew that was going to come out. I was waiting for that one. I didn't even know what this card was. Look at all this fire. Yes. So, what I'm gathering from this in terms of what she wants you to focus on or work on with her is this idea of seeing how she may manifest in your life, perhaps in a unique way, or perhaps in a way that you haven't considered before. So the first card here we have is Epiphanistate Thea, Most Manifest Goddess, Diversity. This picture here, very rainbow and out of place, but very rainbow. And whenever I see this card, it often reminds me of the very concept of seeing how deities or divinity manifests in our lives in ways that we may not necessarily expect. Because the idea behind Most Manifest Goddess is this idea that Hecate exists within everything, or you can find a way to connect a lot of things, anything, to Hecate because of her liminal nature. Her liminality makes it so she's in between and within a lot of things at once, right? And so, yeah, this idea of going beyond just what you learn and what you are told and seeing where your experience takes you in terms of how you connect to her specifically, what epithets you connect with, what aspects of her, and what parts of yourself you see as carrying the values of Hecate. So we have our 3 fiery golden cards here. Vocis Magicae, Raising Power. So as I've explained previously in streams, but I'll explain again, Vocis Magicae are sort of like words of power or words of magic that we may not necessarily understand or have meaning to, like prescribed meaning to. Some of them are, for example, the words on the back of this card. They're a range of Vocis Magicae that is used to invoke Hecate in some sorcery workings and rituals and things like that. But it's the power of using your words and the power of also not necessarily like doing something and going for something and not necessarily knowing what to expect or knowing what's going to happen. So it's allowing yourself to express yourself, to seek something, to indulge in some sort of communication or way of connecting with Hecate. So this could be like, it's not just like prayer, which could work, or like writing to her. It could be a meditative experience. It could be astral travel. It could be channeling. It could be divination that is like very intuitive. Things like that, where you don't know what's going to happen. It's not like reading a book where you know what the book's going to be about and the words are expected, right? The words in a book don't change when it's like right there in essence. And so it's this idea of doing something that can shift and be unpredictable in order to discover more. Unity once again. So Hierospire, the sacred fire, unity. Don't be afraid to connect with your community and also ask for help or talk with others about your ideas. None of your ideas or findings or experiences are silly or invalid or not good enough because they're not rooted in some sort of high academia or this idea of, you know, you have to be the expert in order to speak about something. You don't have to. It would suck if only experts or self-proclaimed experts or experts as regarded by other people in the community are the only ones who could speak on their experiences or their theories or ideas around who Hecate is and how she interacts with us or you. So don't be afraid to use your voice in community and speak your ideas and, you know, share them with others, because you never know when others may have a similar opinion or may have something to add or may even benefit from what you're sharing. And at the end of the day, if not those things, it's just cool to hear about people's opinions. And the last one is Erototokeia. Erototokeia, which is bearer of love, desires, which is her epithet, of course, bearer of love. I think it's a really nice epithet because we see a lot about Hecate being dark and cold and brooding and distant and scary and intimidating. But really, she has a lot of love to give as well. She's a protector and she, you know, comes along to help us. What was that spinning thing? Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. Did you guys see that? It was like spinning on my screen. Okay. Yeah. She's a very loving goddess. She has a lot of love to give. And if you're looking for it, you only have to, you know, ask and you'll find out. That's not meant to be ominous, but, you know, it's meant to be reassuring that she's here for you and that there's a lot of loving things you can connect to when it comes to Hecate as a goddess. Hopefully that reading makes sense for you. Also, the cat's back. You reacted to Hanyul before you reacted to your reading? That's okay, I'm just being silly. You are welcome. I'm glad it made sense. I thought it was nice. Welcome in, Day Sleeper. It's good to see you. Let's move on to Neppy. Let me know what you'd like a reading on. I'm assuming you're going to call upon the deity wheel, but you can let me know. Am I saying crazy what I'm about to say? The deity will. I need like an animation or something that I can activate to like put a deity wheel or something. Alright, let's see. I'm going to shuffle this deck and have a card come out, and I'm going to show it to you, and you're going to tell me the first deity that is like that would be on your deity wheel that comes to mind. Because it's half deity wheel and half you have a bit of a say in it too. Intuitively. It's intuitive, right? So it's not like you're actually choosing. It'll be okay. Let's see if they can make it obvious. Which deity would like to share a message with Neppy today on the stream? Okay. The Four of Cups. Who's the deity that is constantly handing you signs or messages or something, and you kind of dismiss them and don't see them as signs or messages because you kind of doubt it? Like it was obvious. They did not make it very obvious. Okay, cool. Apollon. To tell you the truth, he's also what came up in mind. So if he's who you if he is the one who came to mind for you, then that is good. Imagine the sun popped out. Yeah, you did fine. Oh, thanks, Lay. Thank you for popping in. Okay, this is interesting. We have the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Tower. But you need not be scared. This reading is about burnout and emotional expression. So he's indicating here that if you kind of just dive into things really quickly without grounding yourself or acknowledging your emotions or finding healthy ways to express them, if you come across, frustrating or sad or unfortunate situations, then that can lead to the Tower. And I find that to be an interesting connection because the Tower usually is about foundations being shaken up, right? And so if we work backwards from here, if you're experiencing feelings of burnout or an inability to express in a healthy manner, then that's obviously going to affect your foundations. It's going to hinder your foundations even. And so it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy where if you are having shaky foundations and then you're trying to go fast with these shaky foundations, then the tower is going to happen because the tower is going to fall. And so here's him saying, it's time to bring your self-care, emotions, the things you do for yourself into focus, into the forefront and right in front of you, right? It's like, he's saying don't just see it as something on the sideline. It's not something for you to push to the side or a checkbox for you to tick every day, or as something, it's like, he says something like, it's not about the aesthetics as well. It's not an aesthetic thing to do. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It just has to feel a certain way. You don't measure self-care based on how it appears, what products you have, what activities you're doing. Oh my god, it's L. Hi. Okay. Hi, L. It's about the feeling, right? So if you have a moment to just sit with yourself, place your hand on your heart, and you would take a breath in and you think about what you had just done for the purposes of self-care, or putting yourself first, or putting your emotions and feelings into consideration first, you can kind of tell how you feel about it based on not just your thoughts but your feelings, but more it's like more than feelings. It's your bodily reaction or how things feel in beyond the mind. So better way to explain this is if you put your hand on your heart and then you think about something, you may find that your chest expands or it closes in. And so if it expands, it's like opening itself up, which tends to be a positive thing. You know, you're opening yourself up. It may be a vulnerable moment. It may be letting something in, and that's good. So if you do something good for yourself and you place your hand on your heart and then you feel that expansion, then that can be really good. But then if it kind of closes in and it feels a bit restricting, then there might be some sort of fear or sort of reluctance or hesitance associated with whatever you're doing, or like guilt or shame or something like that too. And that doesn't necessarily mean that what you've just done, like your act of self-care or whatever for yourself, is like bad inherently, but it may mean that there are some experiences or emotions associated with whatever you've done that you may need to work through in order for you to bring it back into that more open-hearted state. So funny, I've been feeling a push to sit with myself and emotions. Oh, well, there you go. He's definitely wanting you to do more of that for yourself. That's sort of the advice that has come through for you. You should join the QL. You're welcome. Yes, thank you, Apollon. Thank you for dealing with my on-the-spot request for you to participate in the deity wheel. Alright, Vana Not White, it is your turn if you're still here. Let me know what you'd like a reading on, and if you have a deck preference as well. Happy to do that, because I have a bunch of decks all around here. Your interview. That's exciting that you have an interview. No worries. Thank you, Neppy. No deck preference. That's fortunate since I started shuffling with the deck I had in my hand. Alright. So usually I don't do what I'd call fortune telling readings, but I feel like this one is a bit fine. Because, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit more of a vibe check than a let's see what the future holds. But yeah, let's go through these cards. So your first card is the Five of Wands here. And two things come to mind with the Five of Wands. One of them is sort of this idea to... It's like there's a certain question that might be asked about how you handle conflicts with other people, or how you deal with like competitiveness in the environment, but mostly like conflict with other people. So it might be them asking you how you deal, like what was a time where you were able to manage conflict in the workplace, or how did you manage conflict with like a client or customer. I would suggest that you work on the answer. So keep it concise and trimmed and succinct, and target the things that they want to hear. They're not too interested in like too much context or personal like backstory or feelings or associations with people that you may have worked with previously or interacted with previously. Tighten your answer there, because that one may be significant. The other way I saw this card as well is that with this interview, there may be a lot of close considerations for people, for candidates. So it's not like, I don't want to tell you like you'll get the job or not, because I feel like that is very heavy to tell someone in terms of an interview. I don't want to set any expectations, and that's going more into where I don't really like to read. But it definitely feels like there'll be some competition, but you'll be kind of someone who will be in close competition with other people for this role. Could you have an answer written for that? Oh, good. That is great. Yes, sometimes we may like enter an interview room and they ask us a question that we've prepared for, and then we kind of feel nervous about the answer we've prepared or written down. Just trust whatever you've written down. Rather than trying to go off the cuff. Alright, so the middle card. Four of Pentacles. This is becoming like advice rather than how your interview is going to go. But hopefully that still helps. So Four of Pentacles. Pentacles obviously is like with coins. Something to do with money. I'd say you're either going to encounter them being closed off, like if they haven't displayed like a salary range, or are like reluctant to share anything about money with you, that may come through during the interview. It's not something that you should be like too, like if they're quite firm about not wanting to share. You know, some places or some people, they say, oh, you should try push to get a range and get an idea. This one, it seems like they're going to be a little bit resistant. And for you as well, you may have heard this before. If they ask you about your expectations monetarily, you can give a range as well. You don't have to give an exact figure. Sometimes it's difficult to give an exact figure. It's also information you don't have to be upfront about if they don't ask. So if they don't ask you about it. The Nine of Cups is a good card. I consider this to be a very positive thing when it comes to the question of how your interview is going to go. Because the Nine of Cups is associated with wish fulfillment and good things happening emotionally for you, feeling fulfilled with what you have. And so it seems like the interview is going to go well in that sense, where you will feel satisfied with how it will go and what will happen. You know, you said you have a question and answer written down. Seems like you're prepared for this interview going forward. So whatever the outcome is going to end up being, I think you will find satisfaction in it. That's your reading. Best of luck with your interview. Hopefully it is what you're looking for. You're welcome. Alright, time for the next reading. Let me know what you'd like a reading on, and if you have a deck preference, you can do exclamation mark decks to see what options there are. Also, as a reminder to people, you can donate to my Ko-fi using exclamation mark donate, and it'll come up with the Ko-fi link, and you'll either be popped up to the top of the queue, or you can choose to queue again a second time. So if you've already had your reading, for example, or you're about to get your reading anyway, then you can get a second reading. And it's a great way to support the streams because these are free readings and donations are optional but very much appreciated. Dealer's choice. What name can I refer to you by? Because I'm unsure if I've asked you that before. All right. Thought I saw a card upside down, but maybe I was mistaken. $69. Are you a secular person? Like you don't really like do any gods, like pagan deity stuff, or do you? Is the question. I ask because there are things in these cards that remind me of Odin, but I won't prescribe that meaning if it's not relevant. So secular meaning like you're not religious. Like you don't practice religion. Are you a pagan? Is basically the question. Most people in here who come to my streams do tend to have some sort of pagan practice or witchcraft practice or polytheist faith. But some people that I am not as familiar with, I want to double check. Alright, cool. I will omit that then because we can. Alright, so we have the 4 of strength. Also the 7 of wisdom. And the page of wisdom. I feel like there's something to do with travel here. Maybe travel for some sort of party or wedding or ceremony or celebration. It doesn't have to be like overseas, but could be something that you consider a trip to make somewhere. Might be to do with family or close friends. Ah, nice. You got job offer. Yeah, like the most prevalent thing that came up was it's something that you're traveling for. That's what I see in the page of wisdom. It's something. Yeah, and the 4 of strength is what tipped me off in terms of it's something to do with like a celebration or, you know, yeah, well, basically something celebratory. Like it's an occasion. It's not just traveling for the sake of traveling. It's funny you should say that because the 7 of wisdom is reflective of the 7 of cups. And the 7 of cups is all about making a choice. And it's all about being worried about what choice you're going to make. So let me actually get the card for you to see. These 2 are the same card. It's this idea of making a choice of something. And it feels really reflective of like a situation, for example, with a job offer where you're not sure if you should take it. Because we see here on this card a lot of great things in those cups. We have the wreath of success and victory. We have, you know, all of these different jewels and gems. And there's like property, there's jewels, there's the wreath. But then there's this like red ghost up here. And it's sort of like, can I really make this choice about something even if there's that red ghost there? Like even if there's this really like this thing that's really like sounding alarms, is concerning, and is what's basically making it difficult to make that choice. And it's here as well. There's a light source and the man is grabbing for it, but then he doesn't realize that it's attached to the anglerfish. I think it's the anglerfish. Attached to the fish that can eat him, essentially. Thinking about changing cities as well, but you don't know where. You get the urge to move and you will eventually, but don't know where. Alright, so I pulled some additional cards where we have the Knight of Wisdom and the Ace of Strength. And I find these to be really interesting because the Ace and the Knight typically are related to the start of a journey or a move, like making a move in a journey. Like you've planned something out, you're taking the move. And strength and wisdom. These suits in this deck are associated with the Wands, which are about fire, passion, and growth. And wisdom is associated with cups, which is about emotions and the heart. I think when it comes to things like if you should accept a job offer or if you should move to another place, it's often, our thoughts are often influenced by logic and expectations, standards, what other people will think of us, things like that. But in this reading, acknowledging that there's this choice you need to make already, that there's this travel for some sort of vacation, like this is sort of our context when it comes to how you're going to make this decision. It's very much about seeing where your growth opportunities are. So will this job offer really bring you forward or bring you higher, like bring you further along the path you want to go to? Or is it just the means of getting out of like the specific place? Like you're considering it because you're trying to get out, as an example. Or are you considering it because it's genuinely a growth opportunity, but it might just be a little bit intimidating or uncomfortable to do something like that? And also, you know, we can't, well, it's like for things like this, we tell ourselves, I can't just trust my gut. I can't just trust my emotions in this because they're just emotions. Like, how can they tell me what to do? Or how can they be reliable? I think sometimes they are. A lot of the time they are. Because they reveal what you actually like feel about a situation, right? Don't dismiss how you feel when it comes to thinking about your move. You don't know if you should take it or not. Figure out where that unsureness is coming from and then see what your gut instinct is telling you, basically. It doesn't have to be the thing that makes the decision by the end of the day, but it can be what helps you figure out where you're going and, you know, where you might want to change cities, for example, if you should take the job offer or not. Because sometimes just thinking about it over and over again or trying to find logic in it or trying to imagine what's going to happen in the future as an attempt of figuring out which one's the right choice, it doesn't work sometimes. It doesn't work a lot of the time. Sometimes we get so used to relying on our logic and thoughts rather than our feelings that we end up thinking ourselves into circles. So those are your considerations in terms of this next move of yours. How does that seem? Oh, no worries. You are welcome. Best of luck with making that choice. Congratulations on the job offer as well. And hopefully wherever you do end up moving, it's really good for you. And what you are after. Hello, Scorpio. What would you like a reading on today?
People like you.
Which spirit guide? Is it like your main spirit guide you mean? Or a different idea? Since we have a lot of spirit guides. Oh, I wouldn't say a lot. We have multiple spirit guides. Okay, that's okay. We can do one generally from your spirit guides in general. Yeah, a lot of my readings on these streams tend to be with deities, angels, spirits, things like that. Most of the time it's deity readings due to my community and my interests in spirituality. Hey Sizer, how are you doing? Nice. Alright, so we have 3 cards here from the Messenger Oracle deck from your spirit guides, Scorpio. Your first card is Be Vigilant. And we have this piece of art here with a dragon around a tree. So there's a golden tree in there. The second card is Make the Sacrifice. And your third card is Change is Unavoidable. So it tells a bit of a story here in these cards where they want you to be vigilant of something happening, and it's an ongoing situation, so it's not like it's going to come out of nowhere, but there's something going on right now for you where something could happen, something could not, and they're telling you, well, we think it's best actually that you are vigilant for whatever is going to come because change is unavoidable. So there's some sort of change or shift that's going to be happening in an area of your life. I'm not sure which one in particular, but something that the first thing that came to mind was work, but I'm not sure if I was thinking about work because it's been a topic of previous readings so far. It's some sort of project that you've cultivated for a long time. Project can mean like a personal project, a work project, study project, or like school-based, research-based. It's something that you've had a very close association with. So not just something that you're disconnected with, but something that is actually yours, that you've worked really hard on. And that's why there's this dragon here, like sort of cupping or covering, guarding this tree, this golden tree that's grown. Because trees, they take a while to grow, and they take, nurturing and looking after to make sure they don't get trampled over. And even when things grow to a point where they're sturdy, so like a grown tree, sturdy trunk, it can still be threatened or attempted to be taken down. Make the Sacrifice is a card that comes around where you're being advised that there's something you're going to need to let go of in order to proceed forward. When I see the Make the Sacrifice card together with Change is Unavoidable, it reminds me of the Death Tarot card, which represents release or letting go of something, or destruction in your path in order to bring something new ahead of you. So it seems like they're wanting you to be vigilant about this upcoming sacrifice you're going to need to make, and that can look like a variety of different. That can look different in a variety of different ways. Words. But yeah, sacrifice doesn't only have one meaning, but it's significant enough that they're bringing it up here. Make the sacrifice. It's something that you're going to be resistant to. It's something you're not going to want to do. They wouldn't bring it up if it was easy to do. And as mentioned, they're sort of paired together, so change is unavoidable. Something's going to be changing no matter what. Just as a snake sheds its skin, just as night turns to day and day turns to night. It's as natural as that. But just as long, it's just as much as something is inevitable, such as change, it is also, in a way, temporary and able to be resolved. It's like a paradox even. What type of change will this be? Queen of Cups, the Chariot. Queen of Cups. Relationship with someone. Doesn't have to be a significant other necessarily. Could be just someone that you are close with emotionally. The Chariot. Maybe someone like moving away. Like a getting together or an ending. Let's see. Hanged Man. I feel like it's going to be an ending. Because when I think about the Chariot here in this context, it seems like someone's moving. It doesn't have to be physically moving. Could be physically moving. Like, you imagine their car driving away. Or it could also be, things that you're both really determined towards, like your ambitions or your life path or your values. They may be is divulging the right word? It's like they might be going in different directions. But it's not like on bad terms. It's not it's not on bad terms. It's something that you can reflect on, because the Hanged Man is also about being in a stuck in a certain perspective, or having like a single perspective that you might need to turn upside down or shift around in order to see something different. And so I'd say whatever it is, it might not necessarily be something that you can figure out at the moment, like at this very moment, because of maybe a certain perspective or mindset or preconceptions you have. But I think as you move forward, because this is not like a predict the future thing, it's a here's something to keep note of thing. You'll probably work it out as you go. Yeah, that's your reading for today. You're welcome, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. My microphone is very good, and I'm happy about having it. It's a Yeti Blue microphone with I call it an afro, but it's like a pop filter on it as well. When I started streaming, it was so poppy because I didn't have the filter. So I'm so happy that we have it. ASMR channel when I would not know what to do except shuffle cards. It'd just be a channel of me shuffling cards. Alright, let's see. Who's next? Oh, it's Daff again. Alright. Daff, are you still around? Maybe some people would like an ASMR tarot channel where they just listen to someone talking about tarot cards or something. Trapped under a cat. Oh no. How did Daniel get over there? Oh, Haniel moment. We'll get this Haniel. Uh-oh. I did not mean to move my camera. Don't do that. An oracle deck. Let's see what oracle decks I have here. Let me just quickly put these cards away. Did not mean to spin the entire mat. Okay. Let's not do that. Here are your options that aren't tied exactly to like a specific spirit or deity. or pantheon that is external from Fanny's pantheon. We could probably do MTG since Luca mentioned it. Is it just general, like no question? Okay. No question. That was quick. Oh, cool cards. Yeah, it was really quick. This is a beautiful card. Knowledge. Thassa. Look at that. You should join the queue, Sizer. If you want. I feel like this camera is not doing it justice. Like, it is so vibrant and nice in real life. And it has like... Well, I can't see. Like, constellations and gradients inside. Okay. Firepower. Chandra. And also focus. Chimera. I actually find it really interesting that we have Thassa and Chandra here because it's like the water, it's water and fire. Everyone's favorite pride icon. It's like we see these two figures here. I'm trying to like center it, but it's like so much stuff on the screen. Yeah, it's like these two figures here and they're back to back and they're in two different elements. And then the card focus tying them together. There's a question coming up. It's sort of like, how do you find the balance between seeking knowledge through like learning, like knowledge, book knowledge, learning knowledge, and then how do you seek experience from doing, which is representative of the firepower. I'm just doing this to occupy my hands, but yeah, it's like this idea of duality in a very specific sense. So a very specific duality that's coming up here in terms of water, knowledge, the flow of things, and fire, heat, doing, experience, like going out there. The balance between the two and how you may present that, how you may focus on that. It's almost like he's saying you should focus on that. Maybe, I don't know if it's something you are already focusing on, but it may be important for you. And whatever it is that you may be working on with him, or, you know, sort of, maybe you had like a chat with him recently about it of some kind. I think also like this idea of water and fire can be quite flexible in terms of what you can apply to it. And they're just like the number one way to express duality, really. What are two opposites that you're currently dealing with, currently contending with, that you're choosing not to focus on right now? Because there is something specific that he wants to bring your focus to, that he may not necessarily disclose to me. There's also a fill in the blank situation. Hello, Dream. Welcome in. Yeah, there's a few layers to it, which I think is cool. It's also like that metaphor in itself. Something that is fire and water opposites, which are viewed as opposites, two parts of a duality situation, isn't as simple as just the left and right side or the fire and water. It's more complex than that. I don't know. You're right. They are vague. Fanny's is especially vague. It's because you didn't ask a question. That's not me trying to blame you. That's just me saying, like, there's not like a blaming thing. It's a ask vague questions, get vague answers. He's probably said that to you before. If not, he's intended to say it to you before. You know what else this could represent? This or that. Make a choice. It's like you make a choice. You can't just have all or both. Yeah, place that begins wins the prizes.
What's up, Jippy? Shit. What's up, Jippy? From New Orleans to Perth. I'm out.
I feel like this. I'm really fixated on like these two, like just the way that they sit side by side. Maybe it'll be revealed to you in time. Even these tarot cards are vague. Four of Cups, Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands, Page of Wands, Four of Wands. If you want something to celebrate, something to discover, something to go wow with, you're gonna have to answer the call. Make the choice. Seek to recover rather than remain where you are. And start making some plans. That's your consolation prize. Hopefully it gives you something to go and talk to him about, because there is likely lots of stuff to talk to him about. He's just as vague in person. I think he's calling it a two-way street. But I guess if he's really vague in person, it'll be difficult to get a straight answer from him in tarot, right? Being caught up for something. Yeah. I think so too. It's very like archetypal. Like it's very broad. Like he doesn't want to say. It's good to ask for specific questions because it's not only a guide for me, but it's a guide for the deity themselves for like what you want to hear from them. And it's not asking for too much to ask something specifically, you know, like you're allowed to. And if they don't have an answer to your specific question, then that's okay. But at least then you know that it was a bit more targeted. Daysleeper777. Let me know what you'd like a reading on and if you have a deck preference. Hello. What the heck are you talking about, Fannies? Are we spinning the deity wheel again? General reading from whichever deity shows. Deity wheel. Can you do me a favor and list out deities that you work with or you're closer with? It makes it easier than calling out to the void. Cool. Okay, I want you to make a choice because we can either use this deck with Dionysus or we can use this deck with Aphrodite. This is the Messenger Oracle. Because it's like either of them, but it depends on which deck you want to choose. Alright. He kind of went finally. I I think it's been a little while actually since we've done a reading with Dionysus. That was me dropping cards. Yeah. He kind of like stretched his arms up and he strolled up, ready for the reading. So your first card here is Distraction, Siren. We have Unlocking Power, Elspeth. And the Unconscious, Traumacritis. Do you typically do like altered state of consciousness work? Because I think that's what this is referring to. Feels like it's something that you usually do and you like to do, but you may not necessarily like have the time for at the moment, or you're having difficulty concentrating. A lot of dream work and want to work on trance. That want to work is what you should do. That's what he's talking about. He's saying right now, because it's like there's something that you want to focus on, but you're distracted, so you're looking elsewhere, you're not focusing on it. Unlocking power is just like 100% with unconscious. This was just paired together. Something you want to do, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, well, the best way I could describe it was, do you do something that's altered state of consciousness, which is an umbrella term. It's like, as soon as I saw this card, I knew it was that, and then unlocking power is about advancing in that area. So very straightforward, actually, compared to the previous reading. Yeah, he's saying you're distracted right now from your potential of unlocking more of these abilities, or, you know. You have all your trance supplies ready, you've just been putting it off. Does ORZ stand for something? Or is it like a sound or typo? Oh my god, I've never seen anyone make a little guy on his knees with those letters like that. That is so funny. I love that. Wow, yeah, I've never seen that. Yes, it is time to start. You've been putting it off. He knows you've been putting it off. That's why he threw out the distraction card. But he's ready for you to do it. So you should. An older emoji. Maybe, I wonder what it looks like if you try to like extend the body. I need to open my chat for this. I actually, you can't put like a line high enough to make it extend the body. Nah, doesn't look so. I don't know why I thought that I could do a dash like high up. That was cool. That was like an instant clock of what's going on. That's your reading. It's very straightforward. I will ignore what's about to happen. Sure. I'm curious about what your trance supplies are if you're open to sharing. You don't have to share in this chat here, but you can, if you're open to sharing like with me, you can DM me if you'd like, because that's something I've been doing stuff in recently. So I like learning about those things. I am definitely ignoring what just happened, but I'm going to say thank you, Daphne. Yes, thank you. I'd love to hear about it. Sylvester the Third. It's your turn if you are around. Yeah, it's good when it's straightforward. Sometimes I get kind of like spooked when it is too straightforward because I feel like the reading's not enough. It's just like, oh, okay, they're just saying this. But then it's better than not knowing what's going on with the reading. Super vague and complain about it, so it's nice change of pace. Oh yeah. Definitely. Oh, thank you, Luca. That's very kind of you. If you want another reading, Luca, feel free to re-queue. Is Sylvester the Third still here? If not, we're going to move forward in the queue. I'll give it another minute. All right, let's move forward in the queue. All right, Sizer, it's your turn. Let me know what you'd like a reading on and what deck if you have a preference. Angel Tarot. I did not mean to drop the lid. Alright, so your cards for your reading are the World, this is a cool one. I don't think I've seen this one before, like the art. The Queen of Pentacles, and also the Five of Pentacles. Something good with money coming up is the first thing I'll say. Are you looking at like a promotion or something? Or maybe like a raise? I don't really know how it works at your work, but... or like if you're interested in that. No worries, stream. Thanks for letting me know. Possible promotion to full-time. I mean, kind of looking good for that. I don't like telling people, and I especially don't want to tell my best friend that like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to get it, because it'd be really bad if you did not get it. But like I saw this and I was like, oh, promotion. Because the World is this idea of completion. So it's completion of a cycle, and like, you know, it's a good thing because it's like learning. You've learned a lot, you've gone through a journey, and now it's time for you to finish this journey to start your next big journey, right? The Queen of Pentacles is Queen of Money, right? It's like someone who is really like like she's an authority, but she's not authoritative or controlling. So it's a very like like good energy in terms of I don't want to say soft just because like it's queen, but it's like providing. She's like it's providing for you. And Queen of like yeah, it just came to mind like as soon as I drew it, like, promotion. Also because it says like down here, Queen of Pentacles provides consolation and compensations. It's like a raise or promotion. And Five of Pentacles says spreads knowledge and industry, which is like at work. When I see the world like completion, it's like, I don't think you're going to quit your job anytime soon. The closest thing is that you've completed like a specific stage at work and you're moving on to the next one. So it's looking positive for that. It sounds like there's some sort of change coming for you at work. Yes. More money is good. Do you know when you'll like hear back about it or you'll know more? Oh, yes. Sometime next week. You need to text me when you find out so then I don't have to find out through your Discord status message. I really hope you get it. This is You Garden by Saib. I don't know why it's playing Chinese songs now. Oh, it's the last song on this playlist. I'll send you the link. I'm just here trying to play like copyright free music and it's surely a range. Yes. Can't wait to hear about how you get a full-time promotion. Manifesting. That was like a straightforward one too. Luca, it's your turn again. I was just thinking, are you gonna deity wheel it again? Is Hermes part of your team? Alright, he would like to give you some dice oracles if you want. Even though it's sort of like spinning outside of the deity wheel because he's... I guess he could be on it and is not on it at the same time. Oh no, early work tomorrow. You're going to sleep at a reasonable time. Thanks, Isa. Thanks for coming in. Have a good rest. This is really funny. Okay. So your first oracle, because we're probably going to do a couple. Your first dice oracle reads Athena. A single one, 3 sixes, the fifth a 4. Honor Pallas Athena, and all will be yours. All that you desire and all that you have planned for will come to you. She will free you from bondage and relieve the ailing from pain. That's your first one. No worries. You'll be back. You'll be next stream. Sorry. All right. And your second dice oracle, Luca, is Zeus the Thunderer. A single one, 1 6, 2 4s, the fifth of 3. It is not possible to fulfill your desires, the god judges. Nor will it benefit you to journey far from your home. Nor through payment will you find anything beneficial. So that one's more about finding what you need not far from home, so locally or at home, and not through the means of money or transaction. But definitely a huge nod to Athena. And finding success in honoring Athena. So you can kind of merge those two together to gain a bit of advice or insights into a certain situation. Situation being something that you're working on balancing, something that may keep you up, so something that may be a bit based on anxieties or fears. Cool. Yeah, definitely look into it. There's definitely an emphasis on the idea of no need to stray too far from home. So there are some things, like home doesn't have to be physical as well. It's like there are just things you may be familiar with that you think you know all about that you can sort of uncover to discover more things, more interesting aspects for you to look into. You're welcome. Thank you once again for donating to me. If I pronounce my words and enunciate my words correctly when I'm speaking them to people. Yeah, thank you. Also being here as well. What would you like a reading on Dream? And let me know if you have a preference for deck. Just whatever comes out. Okay, sure. Let me just put these dice away. let's use this one. Got some big cards here. Know your power is your first card. Seek your destiny is your second card. And your third card is time to ground. Sounds like you're needing a bit of a boost recently. Maybe, as the card suggests, it's time to ground and realize, just how capable you are as a person. And how that capability can translate to you finding, figuring more out in terms of what path you want to go on and what your ambitions are. It's easy to forget our power, especially when power can be sort of related or associated with things that are very difficult or very undesirable. So we see a lot of power being misused and things like that, or like we tend to tell ourselves we shouldn't feel powerful or we shouldn't feel, we're like above others or stuff like that. But it's possible to acknowledge your own abilities, your power, your strengths without putting other people down, without hurting anyone, and while uplifting yourself and also the people around you. And sometimes we dismiss the things that we truly want to do because we convince ourselves that, it's better this way, to not do these things, to not do that. But when you get those thoughts, have a moment to sit down and kind of reflect and think on them. And allow yourself to just see where your imagination wants to take you, or see where your thoughts and wants and desires want to take you. Because sometimes we have difficulty differentiating between what's actually like dangerous and risky and like is harmful or like, unhealthy versus what's actually fine to do and good to do, but we tell ourselves not to do it because of, fears of different kinds. That's what's come through the cards for you. It's very general. You're welcome. It was a general reading. Tanasha 67. Let me know what you'd like a reading on. you'll probably be the last reading of the stream, as I do need to head to sleep soon. Hello. Mm-hmm. Is it in regards to a specific area in your life? That's okay. You can take a moment for that. How I'm going to find my drive, my energy. So you'd like to know if you're moving in the right direction to finding your drive and energy? Is that correct? Ah, I see. The answer to your question, if you're moving in the right direction, is yes. Because we have a range of cards here that affirm that. The Three of Wands is the card when it comes to starting a new journey and venturing out to unknown lands, because it follows the Two of Wands, which is, a person standing in a fortress sort of building with their two wands looking out at a globe and looking out at the horizon, whereas the Three of Wands is actually taking steps on that journey and going, making a move towards somewhere. I like the Three of Wands as well in this context and to indicate a good journey ahead, because of the fact that the Four of Wands follows this card, and the Four of Wands is a very celebratory card. So it's something to celebrate with community and with other people around you. And so you're heading into a direction that is going to allow you to connect with people and find community. The King of Cups is indicative of your growth and progress and current ways of navigating emotion and how you feel about things. It acknowledges that it's difficult because there are lots of turbulent waters all around. This king isn't exactly on a luscious island. He's on this stone platform sitting in his throne with his cup, and he's dealing with it, and he has, he's placing control where he's able to place control in the situation, which is how he reacts and how he sits there and how he, decides to spend his time, drinking his wine from his goblet in the middle of the sea, in the middle of the turbulent sea. The Eight of Cups here is literally the card of walking away from disappointment. And it affirms to me as well that, you walking away or you being able to move forward even after what has happened in your life is a strength of yours and is something that you won't regret. In a way, it's like you may or may not have had a choice in the matter, but the fact that you're choosing to move forward in this direction is a good thing. The Appearance of Judgment here is a twofold card. Not twofold meaning. The first one is don't be so harsh on yourself. Don't judge yourself so hard that you're sort of like creating... It's like you're creating a figure that is above you to place judgment on yourself. And it's not like an actual figure. It might not be a literal one. But it's sort of like your ideas and expectations and standards of yourself essentially creates this idea that someone is telling you to do something or to reach a certain standard, but it's just you. So you can follow your own standards and not judge yourself too harshly. At the same time, judgment can be a really good card that indicates a rising or development. So it's like this card represents rapture, which is sort of like moving into heaven and, being rewarded for good things, stuff like that. It's that sort of law. But in this sense, it can mean rising to the next level or advancing in a journey or learning more about yourself or being more connected spiritually as well, if that's of interest to you. Oh, sorry, Gummy Pop. I'm going to sleep after this reading. But I hope you're doing well. Alright, and the Empress is your second last card. Empress here is telling me that you're going to be taken care of. You'll be on your way to treating yourself and being treated in the way that you deserve in a positive sense, in being provided for and being taken care of. I have been good today, thank you. I hope you have a good day or have had a good day. And the Sun. I was waiting for this card to come out. I knew it would come out. Because the Sun is basically your highest yes or affirmation when it comes to am I moving in the right direction? The answer is yes, the Sun. It's the card of joy, fulfillment, inner child, sort of healing as well, like being healed and moving forward with confidence. So all of these cards together affirm for you that, it acknowledges it's a very difficult journey for you, that you've had to walk away from something or had to get pick yourself back up and continue on. It's been uneasy emotionally, but also you've been making the steps, you've been planning, you've been making the steps, you're rising to the next level, you're going to be taken care of, you're going to find joy and energy and drive in what you do, as you've said, like the sun, that is what it represents as well. You're welcome. It's looking very good for you, which I'm glad of. Seems like you're connecting more with yourself as well, which is good. Becoming more in touch with yourself. That's your reading. Best of luck with everything as well. That's good. Alright, wonderful people. That brings us to the end of this week's tarot stream. Thank you so much for joining me and requesting readings, or even just lurking and listening if that's what you do as well, or did do after you got your reading. Either way, I really appreciate your support and attendance. It's really great to be able to do these readings for folks and my community. Feel free to join me next week, or same time next week. It wasn't meant to be the same sentence, but yeah. I stream every week at the same time. You can find my timestamp for that in my About section, and you can follow as well. Not subscribe, follow or subscribe to get notified when I go live. Let's go find someone to raid. I think we'll do AC. All right. Catch you wonderful people next time.